So at some point into your 19 years of sobriety, another big part of your life was your time in Hypercrush. You had a band that was pretty famous.
Yeah. So
how did that start?
Well, the first 10 years of my recovery, I want people to know right off the bat, was fucking exciting. Mm-hmm. It was literally, it was like, I put it all down and I just really, I cross addicted, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like I get obsessed and fixated on things. And once I decide that I want to do something, like I just do whatever I can to make it happen. And I believe that it can happen. And just one of the people I was in a band with, Steve, we started just sort of, me and Steve were in a group called War Machine. And it was like angry, punk, rock, political, hip hop, fucking really, really good, complex rhymes and just a bunch of fucking woke bullshit no one's trying to hear. Like, honestly, it gets old, right? We just want to have some fun sometimes, you know, Salty? He's all about fun. Like, but so what it was it sort of morphed into something funner. We got the girl, and what we did was we came up with this idea to do like a like, have you seen The Outsiders?
No.
It's like an old movies where there's like greasers and socias.
Okay.
And the greasers have like cigarettes and like grease in their hair, like Fonzie and shit.
Yep.
And the socias have like Letterman jackets and they're like jocks and, so he was the fucking soc, I was the greaser, she was the fucking pinup roller girl. And we sort of had this persona, Holly Valentine, right? Preston Moronie, Donnie Fontaine. It was like this 50s. It was called the Bel Airs. Mm-hmm. These older dudes had the name. So we ended up going with Hypercrush. And it sort of fused some Nintendo shit, some 80s shit. And it was like probably the first like real retro, like 8-bit throwback Nintendo influenced group, Hypercrush. Mm-hmm. We had a power glove. Do you know what that is?
No.
Yeah, it's like a thing that Nintendo made like in the 90s where it was this glove. And it looks really fucking cool, but it doesn't do shit. And it's probably the worst functioning, item that's ever been made in the history of gaming. But it looks so cool.
Is it for a certain game or something?
Nintendo.
But like a game on the Nintendo, or
it's in the movie Wizard.
Okay.
With you haven't seen that probably.
No, I haven't.
It's a movie with who's the dude that played Frodo? Elijah Wood is in this movie called Wizard, and it's an 80s film about like gaming, or 90s film about gaming, and they use the power glove. And I mean, for people my age, like this is like a really cool throwback. And
yeah,
Hypercrush, just once we started having fun always wins.
That's true.
It always wins. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like, don't take yourself too fucking seriously, bro. Like, we were basically a joke. We went from being super serious to just like joking, and we got a record deal. Like, it was crazy. I mean, we went to #1 on MySpace first. MySpace offered us a deal, and Universal offered us a deal, and we probably should have went with I don't know, dude. It's just the shit just was. It's just the whole Hypercrush career is like just a series of unfortunate events. I feel like lost a manager, got good new manager. Lady Gaga told just a lot of shit.
I've heard about the Lady Gaga
There's just
tour.
like so much stuff, and we're like all over the place. Sorry. But yeah, we went on tour with Lady Gaga, and she basically told her manager that she didn't want him managing us anymore. And he probably should have told her before he started managing us, but he didn't.
Why'd she say that to him? I mean, why?
Because I think that. Well, I don't know for sure that she even really said that or what she said. I just know that we go on a tour with Lady Gaga. Troy Carter is our manager. Mm-hmm. He was on the Shark Tank, and Troy Carter was on Shark Tank. You may know who he is. He's a big business mogul.
Okay.
So we find out he's interested in our band, and our manager, he's really just, our manager he didn't have connections with the labels. he didn't have the power to take us to the next level. So we moved management. We amicably left our initial manager and went with Troy Carter. And he fucking wooed us in the cigar suite on the fucking top floor, the fucking LA whatever club that he's in. And I believe in you guys are the next Black Eyed Peas. You know, like
That's got to be exciting to hear.
dude, we were like so happy, bro, because we had worked for so long and for so hard, and it felt like the stars were finally aligning. And then he says, you know, we're gonna do this tour. You're gonna be opening up for Kanye and Lady Gaga, and it was like, fuck, bro. It was like,
Holy shit.
it was just like, it ended up just being Lady Gaga, and then we had a $500,000 record deal like on the table. Literally, we were about to sign it, and then in Germany, first we run into Lady Gaga on the tour, right? And I'm like, hey, what's up? You know, we're kind of a part of the same family now. We have the same manager.
Yeah, we know you. You know?
Yeah, I go, Troy. I start talking about Troy, and she's like, my Troy? And I'm like, fuck. She doesn't know. All right, whatever.
She's territorial with him.
I mean, I'm not even really that mad, honestly, because like when you're on the rise like that, like you kind of do want a manager who's going to focus solely on you,
100%.
Especially if your hopes and dreams are to be as big as she became and still is.
Seems like Troy did some good work there.
Yeah, and but also she's just talented as fuck, dude.
Yep.
So we go with Troy, and he drops us in Germany, and there's like Holly's like crying. We had to finish the tour with no management. It was just like fucked up.
So when that,
but the reason I think it was Lady Gaga is because the first time we meet her, she doesn't know about Troy, right? And then she says to Holly, I remember when I used to shop at the Goodwill. It was a weird dig, bro, because she was rocking this Gucci suit, and Holly was wearing like the put together, Goodwill, American Apparel, like fucking dope spandex.
Yep.
Like she has like a headband on and like spandex, and she just, there was a fucking weird vibe, bro. And then we heard she was complaining about our fog juice.
what is fog juice?
Well, bro, like wherever Hypercrush goes, we have lights, fog, a PA, a banner. I don't give a fuck. So we went to Europe, and I brought all that shit, and we just did like too much. She wasn't having it. I always do too much. She wasn't. Yeah, I think we. I don't know, bro. All I know is the next fucking day, his assistant calls us talking about we can't take you to the next level. We don't. Just a bunch of bullshit.
Oh no.
We can't manage you. So it was kind of like. Plus, I served her a fucking lawsuit on accident.
Oh no.
At the end of a show, some fucking little girl and her father come up to me and they go, "Here, we need to give this to Stephanie. We're big fans, and this is a letter to her or whatever." And I'm like, "Oh, cool." And I go give it to her, and then she gives it to Troy, and then I find out it's some fucking. She got served by me.
No,
but I don't know this, bro. I don't have any idea.
You for sure pissed her off that night. I mean, that might have been it. Maybe even over all the other stuff you've mentioned. You literally, like, in her mind, she's like, he sued me. I took him on tour.
No.
No, I know, but like you gotta. In her,
right.
It's like this guy served me, and I took him on tour.
But if anyone knows what it's like, well, no, this was on the tour.
Yeah,
right. This happened on the tour, and I also emailed my management like a bunch of demands, and bro, I was young and in early sobriety, and my head was big, and we were getting deals and signing autographs and fucking lines out the door, lines around the block for the show. And it was a really cool time. MySpace really was incredible. I mean, you could do an entire tour just because you have people on MySpace. You can put all the tour dates there.
Yep.
You have 4 songs you can play. You see how many, it was just a great.
MySpace pioneered that shit, I think.
Bro, and they did it better than anyone. Mm-hmm. Still to this day. You can't really. You go to SoundCloud, it's like a photo and a bunch of songs. There's nothing more.
SoundCloud sucks.
Yeah, I mean, MySpace was like you could have videos, photos. You could.
I was like slightly too young for MySpace. I'm 26, so I was like, I had a Facebook account in the early days, but I was like 9 years old playing Farmville.
Yeah,
so like on my mom's computer, so it was a little different. So your first deal that you got, do you remember how much it was for?
Yeah, $375,000.
What did you do when that money hit your account?
Bro, we're fucking 17 and we just got 375 grand.
I'm going crazy.
No. Well, we talked about a bunch of dumb shit like buying a house. And we didn't do any of that. I'm like, no.
Buying a house seems like smart shit, kind of.
No. We needed to be put on a salary. Each of us needed to be put on a small, modest salary. We need to continue making music. This needs to be our job. We need to sell merch. We need to make money on. We were getting pretty decent guarantees also at the time. Like we would get like 10 grand on New Year's Eve and like 5. And then we did tours. We made money, other ways. So yeah, we were like very modest with our spending. And we made it last 10 years.
Damn.
That was just all we did.
You stretched that initial deal for 10 years?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
We put out 3 albums.
Fuck.
We put out 3 albums. I still get money.
Just residuals coming in?
Royalties. Yeah. Like YouTube. We were on like American X. What's that? That movie X? The party
Project
movie.
X?
We're on the Project X soundtrack. And,
okay.
Yeah, and the Scary Movie soundtrack and a bunch of Real World episodes. And Adrena Patridge, her, Adrena Partridge. She was on the
familiar.
Real World. She wore our like Sex and Drugs shirt. And I mean, we had a bunch of we were on Pitchfork. We did a song with Diplo. That was cool.
How does it work when a movie wants to use your music? Do they just hit up your manager or label or something?
Yeah, and they pay well. It's incredible.
What's like the biggest movie licensing deal you got?
Well, we got like I think 9 grand for the Scary Movie thing.
Oh fuck yeah.
Yeah, and then here's the thing about the movie stuff. It's like royalties, so it's like so we're set up through BMI and BMI will send me checks like every month. Still, I just got like $1,000.
Nice.
Just from BMI. It's like a label. It's not a label. It's a publishing company. So the publishing company keeps track of wherever the song is getting played, and it puts it all together, and it gives you money for stadiums, football games, radio.
So nice passive income.
Yeah, Spotify, YouTube, all of it.
So how are you like staying sober through all of this? Dude, you're on tour doing this crazy shit.
Yeah, I mean, and it's clubs. We're not like a normal band where it's like, oh, we were like VIP bottle service in the club because we were like a party. We were like one of the first groups to actually perform in the club, which became sort of like a trend at the time. And I mean, if you really do that first step right, I am powerless over drugs and alcohol, and my life is unmanageable without sobriety, without God, without a program. If you really do that first step, then you can be around anything. And also, like, I'm laser focused on the mission, and I'm achieving my dreams, and I just know I can't drink. I don't know. I there were a few times where I would grab a Red Bull and it would be Red Bull and vodka. It was crazy. That happened a couple times, but I didn't keep drinking. It was just and people would offer me all kinds of stuff. I would say, hey, you know what? I'm sober, dog. I got 5-6 years sober. I would tell fans that outside when I go have a cigarette with them. I'm a big like advocate of that.